preparing to live stream the meeting. I will give you the heads up if it does go live. Setting up meeting.
It says it is on my end.
I know it says it, but there's like a lag. Okay, it looks like
it's working.
Yep, we're live on Facebook. Give you the heads up if it does go live. Setting up meeting.
It says.
Can you hear me? We are streaming live on YouTube right now. So we can get started whenever anybody's ready. John, if you want to.
All right, so I just want to take the go ahead and everybody's good. Thumbs up. All right, we'll get started then. All right, guys. So my name's Donnelly, and I work with the Student Assembly. I've worked in plenty of different roles over the past couple of months, and I've gotten to get a really good view of the organization as a whole. Over the past few months, what roles have you guys played? Introduce yourselves, what colleges you go to, and then, what roles you play. So why don't we start off with Kevin?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Rogers. I'm a student at Nassau Community College. I've been with the Student Assembly since September. My role is the Deputy Director of Legislative Affairs. So I aid the advocacy team in coordinating agendas for both the fall and spring conferences, and also during the budget season. I work on a whole plethora of different kinds of events and initiatives that all focus around advocacy and prioritize student needs. And those are my main responsibilities.
That's great, Kevin. All right, so Dami, what do you do in the Student Assembly? What college do you go to? All that good stuff.
Hi, everyone. My name is Damilola. I attend the University of Albany. I am currently the SUNY Student Assembly Secretary. And the reason why I decided to pursue this role just because I was the secretary of my previous org called ASA, and I was very passionate about advocating for students in SUNY.
Okay, Dami, thank you. All right, Jahad, let's move on over to you.
Thank you. My name is Jahad Hoyte, and I'm now the newly interim VP of SUNY Student Assembly. I go to Farmingdale State College and I'm an aviation administration major. And the reason why I went for this position is because I wanted to expand the position's horizons. I wanted the position to at least grow, and I at least wanted to be more interactive with the representatives and a lot more colleges as well, and also to aid the president's office as well. So, yeah.
All right, thank you, Jahad. All right, Nicole, what do you do with the Student Assembly? What's your major?
Okay, so I am the marketing specialist of SUNY SA, which basically means that since January, I've been co-running all of the social media posts to Instagrams, Facebook, Twitter with Taryn. So that's what I've been doing so far. I go to Genesee Community College, and I'm a fashion design major there.
All right, cool. Thank you, Nicole. All right, guys, so we'll move on to our next question here. And then if anybody has questions on YouTube, if you want to post them, or Facebook Live, post them and maybe get our panel to answer them. So our next question is, what is your most memorable memory serving the organization, and why? Let's start with Jahad on this one.
My most memorable memory. I think, my most memorable memory was probably my first conference. Seeing, leaders from 64 campuses with the same passion and the same mindset as mine, and to at least get their expertise and to get their feedback was probably one of my best, memorable moments with SUNY SA. And I look forward to it. And that conference right there was the one that got me involved with SUNY Student Assembly. So, yeah.
So it started you along the good path there. All right.
Yeah, 2 years and counting.
Yep. And our new vice president. So congratulations on that. All right, Dami, how about you?
Okay, this is a hard question, but if I had to pick, I would definitely say it was our last EC meeting. It was the last time I got to see a lot of you in person. but we also had a lot of bonding experiences. We did scavenger hunts and all of that. It was just a fun way for us to get to know one another. So definitely our last EC meeting.
Yeah, and I missed out on that one. So, all right, Kevin, how about you?
I actually have two really good memories from the SUNY SA. My first one, in January, I was fortunate enough to attend the State of the State with some members of the executive team and some Excelsior scholarship recipients, which was really great, all being together in the room while the governor announced all his priorities for this budget season. And another really good memory was the Higher Education Action Day, where students from all around New York State came to Albany to meet with state legislators and advocate for not only their individual campuses, but the SUNY and CUNY systems as a whole. So that was a really, really exciting day and memory.
Yeah, and Kevin did a great job on that day. He arranged all the buses and things like that. And Kevin was very important in making it a successful event. So thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, John.
All right, Nicole, how about you?
Okay, so mine is kind of like sappy, but for I've only been to one executive committee meeting, and that was in January. And I had the pleasure of riding up with Jenny and Callie, and they were so welcoming to me, and they made me feel so like very comfortable with coming into a group of people that I've never met before. We had a really fun ride from all the way from Buffalo. And I just, once I got to the hotel and I met, Bryce and everyone and Lizzie, I just felt so welcome and and it sounds really corny, but I feel like I found my people because for so long I've been so dedicated to school and like being a part of like organizations like SGA and Campus Activities Board, and people really didn't share the same like vibe as me. And to meet all of you who, are so dedicated to all of this, it really made me feel like, oh, finally I found my people. So that's probably my best memory.
That's great, Nicole. And Nicole's only been with us for a few months now, so it's great that you already have a great memory.
Absolutely.
So next question that we're going to move into now is, if you could spearhead one major project to make the lives of students better, what would it be? And I guess we'll start ahead with Dami on this one. If Dami, you want to answer that.
This is a good question. I'm thinking of a lot of ideas right now. But something that I'm passionate about is just empowering others and, using my words to help others grow in every aspect of their lives. But as a college student, one thing I feel like should happen is that college should be free for all. So if I could anyway help with that, push for that, that's something I would definitely love to do. If I could just do this and it would happen because these loans pick up real quick. But just back to the first point, really empowering others and letting people know that they are destined for greatness is something that I'm passionate about a lot.
Yeah, and I would love free college too, Dami. That would be great. All right, Kevin, let's move on over to you.
I would like to see all textbooks and instruments you use in math or science all go online for free, for no charge. And I think this would eliminate all those extra burdens that pile on, whether it be buying a textbook or buying a calculator for calculus or all these different kinds of things. So I think that would be one of the biggest ones I would push for. Very reasonable too.
Yeah, I think that's something that we could certainly look into as an organization and hopefully as a SUNY system together. So that would be great, Kevin. Nicole, how about you? What do you have to say on this?
So something that I wanted to highlight on is community colleges, because, even when I was in high school, everybody always thinks like, oh, community college is like second high school and it doesn't really matter or count. But for a lot of people, including myself, it's a huge stepping stone into figuring out what you want to do with your life. So I think just highlighting community college and community college students, all types like, adult education learners and just everybody, because, we get the short end of the stick a lot of the time.
That's true. And, you know, community college is so important for lots of students in the system. So highlighting community colleges and Nicole's work with marketing, I think that would be great. All right, Jahad, let's move over to you. Let's finish this one up.
So I was just thinking here because everyone had great ideas, and my idea at first was not the best. But Nicole, you brought up a very good, idea. When it comes to community colleges, I think my really focus point would be community colleges funding, so they can at least get the adequate resources. You did mention a very big, key point there is that this is a stepping stone for many students. And they need to at least grow from here. So we need to give them the necessary tools so they can thrive. Some community colleges don't have that. So I think giving them adequate funding, I think that will be my, really big passion here.
Yeah, definitely, Jahad. And certainly, if we could look into the budget next year, making sure that we get the adequate funding, that would be great. All right. So next we're going to move on to a little bit more sappy subject. Not sappy, but if there's one person that you would consider your mentor, who would it be? And Kevin looks like he's itching to answer this question, so we'll give it over to Kevin.
I was actually thinking about this a little earlier today. My mother, I would say, is the foremost person I would go to. She's always very excited when something or new opportunity comes my way or if I accomplish something. So, she's the rock that is the house is built upon. So, I would definitely say my mother.
Yeah, that's great, Kevin. Supportive mothers. Shout out to all you all around the globe.
Oh yeah, John.
All right, Nicole, how about you?
So mine would have to be my advisor for a club that was just created about 2 years ago. It's Woke, and her name is Sarah Vason. She has been my advisor for the last 2 years, and she has helped me in ways that no one has ever stuck their neck out for me in my time as a college student. She really is dedicated not just to me but to all students at GCC, and she's one of the easiest people I've ever had to talk to. I feel like I can go to her for anything, and she's always giving me sound advice. And sometimes when I get a little down and I'm like, man, things are getting hard, this is a lot, SGA, WOCAB, but she always lets me know that I wouldn't take on more than I can handle, and I haven't. So to just keep pushing through and to keep working hard, because it's all worth it in the end. So I really have to thank Sarah for even this position. She's the one who, encouraged me to apply for SUNY SA.
Well, go Sarah. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Sarah, too. All right, Jahad, let's move on over to you now.
Well, thank you, Sarah. When it comes to everything, I have someone who would really be, a mentor for me would be, I'm a part of a social justice research institution, and the advisor for that is my mentor, because she was the one that got me on the right track to being more of a social justice activist, getting me involved, how I can help in my community and help throughout the state and things like that. So she's, of course, been my, shoulder that I need to, talk to sometimes, but she was really one of those big influential figures in my life.
That's great, Jahad. All right, Dami, let's finish this one up with you.
So as stated earlier, I attend UObney, and the student association president last year was someone named Lanji Kadeska, and I was her assistant at the time. So it was really empowering to see her, because I wanted to be the president, when I was assistant, and I am now, so that's great. But she always made me realize that I am capable of doing whatever I wanted to do. She never made it seem like my dreams were too big. Like, she made me believe in myself every, step of the way. And I appreciated that. She was always there to support me and always being honest, So sometimes I feel like when we think of mentors, we just want someone to say, yes, 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 everything is great. But she was honest with me because she cared about me and made sure that I was the best I could be. So I definitely appreciated that.
Yeah, and then you got to follow in her footsteps. So, that's really great. I'm happy to hear that, Dami.
Thank you.
All right. So as we all know, we're social distancing right now. So when times get hard, like how do you employ self-care? What do you recommend to other students? What do you do for yourself? Jahad, let's start off with you on that one.
Of course. So not only am I the VP of SUNY SA, I'm also the president, outgoing president for Farmingdale. And one thing I have to do every single day is take a few hours to myself. And self-care is a very big, important thing to do. Like Candy did say on her last workshop, is that you need to find that time to at least take care of yourself, do what you like to do. Like I like cooking. So I started cooking dinner all the time this entire week. So I took that time to at least, hey, let me hone my skill. Let me just do something I like to do and take a step away from my homework, my, other obligations and things like that. So yeah.
That's great, Jahad. And I do not like cooking. So, if you ever want to send some of that food over my way, that would be great. All right, Nicole, how would you answer this question?
So I like to dance. So as soon as I start feeling stressed out or like feeling overwhelmed, I just kind of like take a break. I put down my homework or whatever I'm doing, and I put on my Spotify playlist and I just dance until I can't feel my legs anymore. But sometimes I do like to just sit down and read a book or something, just anything to take my mind off of what's stressing me out, because we're all gonna have to come back to what's stressing us out. But just being able to know when you've had enough and being able to, okay, I need, an hour, 45 minutes to just decompress, read a book, dance around my room, and then I'll get right back to it and I'll keep going.
That's great, Nicole. Honestly, I might start trying that.
Yeah.
All right. Dami, how about you?
So I'm with Nicole in this one. I dance also, so I love to dance. I cannot think of the last day I haven't danced. I dance every day. And of course, I also read a book as well. I love that. But other things I do is make sure that I'm surrounding myself with positivity. So I like to write post-it notes, put on my, mirror on the wall, surround myself with positive people. Like my friends also need to be positive, And sometimes I take a break off social media as well. And I'm also a religious person. So what I do is pray to God and, anything I could do to get my mind off what's stressing me. So I just take my problems to God also.
That's great to have that outlet, Tommy. So how about you, Kevin? You dance too?
Sometimes. Depends on the mood. So I what I do every day or most every day is I try and go for runs. They can last anywhere from an hour or 2 hours. And it's really nice because I live right by the water, so I can, run by the coast and see, nature in a really nice way. So, running for me is a great way to clear my head and, keep my priorities set and get exercise in it. So.
Yeah. All right. That's great, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you.
So after the student assembly, after college, as soon as you're done with SUNY, where do you guys see you after you graduate? Do you guys plan on going to grad school if you're not already there? What do you see yourself doing in a few years? And we'll start off with Dami on this one.
So I'm definitely going to miss SUNY SA a lot and everything, But once I graduate from, UOBNY, I definitely want to go to grad school. But I want something different. I like to challenge myself a lot, be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's what I tell myself. And something I'm passionate about is advocacy. So I might not be, majoring in anything that has to do with politics, but just who I am as an individual. Like I said, using my words to empower people and use my words to fight for what I believe in. And I like to call myself limitless. So there isn't just one thing I want to do. There's a lot, but just make sure that I'm accomplishing all of that and going with the flow, but also trusting myself and setting goals that I want to reach. So I have a journal and I write everything I want to write down. Like by this time, accomplish this. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but making sure that I'm working towards that goal and having people who would support me reach that goal as well. But I will always help SUNY SA any way I can. Can't forget this.
All right, so I'm going to tell the people down the line a few years from now, Dami, if they ever need any help, they're going to call you.
Of course.
All right, Dami, that's great. Thank you. So, Jahad, how about you?
My plan is to go to grad school. I do want to take a shift from aviation. I do want to kind of go into education policy, things like that, more of a advocacy basis or through there. That's where my social justice mindset is as well. Um, I do see a future with SUNY SA. I do see myself growing, and I really do want to grow with this organization like I've done for the past 2 years. I do see myself, hopefully, Albany. We'll see, but you never know. So, but grad school is the next place to go.
That's great, Jahad. Hopefully you get in there, and I think you will, no problem. But, all right, Nicole, how about you?
So mine is like kind of like a dream right now. I really want, well, first of all, I've always known that I love fashion. Even when I was little, I used to draw. My grandpa was an artist, so he really got me into drawing. And I'm currently a fashion design student. But when I transfer this fall to either Cortland or Fashion Institute of Technology, I'll be switching my major to marketing, public relations, and advertising. And I kind of want to keep the whole fashion portion of that alive. So I really would like to see myself at something like Vogue magazine or just any magazine in general. It doesn't have to be Vogue, but working, marketing and just keeping the creativity in me alive. I've always been very imaginative and very creative. So I want to have a career in that.
Yeah, and that's great, Nicole. I hope that you get into that and you do that and you really follow your passion. So that would be great. All right, and we'll end this one off with Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin.
Thank you, John. So I see myself in a next semester. I'm going to start finish my undergraduate education at Stony Brook, and then hopefully stay there for grad school and continue on that. But I would like to do like a Teach for America program or some kind of elementary education to really instill that spark of what education can do for you on all levels and open, numerous doors. And, you can join organizations on the side or what have you. But yeah, I definitely see myself spreading the power of education to others.
And that would be great, Kevin. I hope that you get to do that.
Thank you, John.
So we're going to move on to our next question here. What advice would you give someone that is in high school? They're aspiring to be maybe in a similar role that you're in right now. They're applying for college. What would you say to them? And we'll move over to Jahad to start this one off.
Put your all into it. Put your heart and your soul into it. You gotta put 110% into anything you are trying to be passionate about. If you're trying to pursue something in your future, go 110%. People are gonna tell you, no, don't do this. Go full steam ahead. And I think about it is that put your mind to it, you can achieve it. Always thrive for greatness. Always try to seek out all the necessary tools to at least make yourself better. And I think one biggest tip is always allow room for growth. I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you, Jahad. All right, Nicole, how about you? What would you say?
So for my role specifically, I think just being able to unleash your creativity, because you can get really stuck in posting things that are just blue and white, or getting stuck in the SUNY colors. And it's hard, even myself, when I first started, I was like, okay, I don't want to get too out of the box with anything, because on top of me wanting to be creative, it needs to represent SUNY SA. But keeping the creativity flowing and everything that I'm doing, as well as being dedicated and being willing to learn. Because myself personally, before I joined SUNY SA, I was not a person who would typically be into politics, and I didn't know any of the lingo or anything. I remember my first SUNY executive committee, everybody was talking about stuff, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. You guys are saying things that are going right over my head. And even since then, I've learned so much. So just being open to learning all of the new things, even if it's something that you don't think you are necessarily interested in, it's going to benefit you.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. And we'll move over to Dami for this one.
So I would definitely say, I would definitely let this person know that they're good enough. So I know we don't all have the same experiences. There isn't one path to success. So you don't need to have this in your resume to get this position. As long as you're passionate about this and you believe that you could do it, do it. When you have those doubts, like, oh my God, but this person does this, I don't have this in my resume, am I good enough? Yes, you are. And doubt those doubts, okay? Don't doubt yourself, because you can do it. And when you get that position, use your voice, use whatever you have, and empower others and advocate for people and do what you believe in. That's what I would say.
And those are really empowering words, Dami. And I hope that everybody watching they hold that close to them and remember that. So thank you, Dami.
Thank you.
All right, and last up, I think this is the second time Kevin's last. So
John, you
we'll
have
make sure
me
to get
as
you first next time,
the
Kevin.
as the assigned closer over here. This is great. So I think
we got you're our anchor, right, Kevin?
I'm the anchor, John. I think that especially in my role, being exposed to state legislatures and things like that, I think it's important to exit your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to speak up for what you believe in. Now, at times it can be intimidating, testifying in front of a committee or taking a meeting or something, but don't be afraid to truly speak what's on your mind and your experiences and things like that, because at the end of the day, they're just people, they're people with compassion who are ready to help you. So I think that that's the most pertinent information I would give them, not just for my role, but for any experience in life. Don't be afraid, because every kind of experience and every kind of challenge you do contributes to your perspective. It makes you a better person. So that's what I would say, John.
Thank you, Kevin. And before we end off on our last question here, Kevin, I'm going to go to you first this time.
Oh, great.
What are 3 words that you would describe a leader as?
3 words I would use to describe a leader are compassionate, knowledgeable, and I would be humorous. I would throw a little humor in there. Yeah, I think those are not the 3 bounded words I would use, but those are 3 pretty good qualities of a leader, I'd say.
All right, Kevin, thank you. And let's see what Nicole has to say on this. Maybe she'll tweak it a little bit for you.
All right, thank you, John.
Well, I wrote inviting, dedicated, and inspiring.
Thank you, Nicole. And those are all great words. Let's move on over to Jahad. Let's see what you have to say about this.
I said adaptability, communication, and humility.
Okay, Jahad, thank you. And Dami, what do you have to say? What are those 3 words?
Definitely passionate, hardworking, because you can't care about something and not do the work. And most importantly, empowering. Be able to empower yourselves and others around you.
Thank you, Dami. Okay, so that really wraps up all of the questions that we had pre-written. And for the moment, we don't have any questions that came in because of some technical difficulties a little bit earlier. So I just want to end off. We'll go through everybody and just any final statements that you have, words of advice, etc. And we'll start with you, Nicole, on this one.
Ooh, okay. I guess my own words of advice are keep pushing. Don't give up just because things get hard, because we're always going to face hardships in our life, and it's just it's like in our blood to keep pushing. We're not, humankind is not the type of person to just stop when things get tough. Like even right now during this pandemic, my school, like the lengths that people are going to continue to keep things going, like just this week of SUNY SA. We could have just called it quits and be like, oh, we'll come back next year. But we pursue and we keep fighting because we need to keep things that are important to us alive. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Nicole. And those are some wise words of advice. And I'm gonna hold them with me. I hope that everybody does too. So thank you. All right, Dami, how about you? What do you have to say?
So I would just first of all thank you, John, for doing all this. It's much appreciated. And I will start off by saying that to anyone who's watching, I really hope all is well with you and your family. And if you ever have the opportunity to join SUNY SA, grab it, go for it. I know it could be scary because you meet a lot of important people and the student leaders, but you are important as well. And I'm sure they will love to meet you. And do not let anyone put their limit on you. So I'm someone who does a lot on campus and everything. And I spoke about SUNY SA. You're like, you want to do that on top of all of that? Yeah. And do not, so your limit is not my limit. As long as you're passionate about it, go for it.
The sky's the limit. All right, thank you, Dami. All right, Kevin, we'll move over to you and get your response on this one. Not last this time.
Not last. And John, I will compliment you. You've really spearheaded this forum unbelievably. It's like stand up at the Apollo. You're just coming out with all the jokes, and I love it, John. So
sorry.
That's okay. That's right.
You keep going, Kevin.
Thanks, John. So just to close, I'll say, don't be cynical. I think cynicism is the worst quality in a person. Optimism for everything, even in the bleakest of times like now, is important. And I would assume if you join this call, you're pretty optimistic about the future of education. And I would say hold that close and don't put it on the back burner. Keep fighting for it and making sure that everyone has equal access to it. I think that's important, John.
Thank you, Kevin. And last, we'll move on over to Jahad.
Oh, I gotta bring it on home. Let's see if I can do it. So I actually do want to say thank you, John. You did a fantastic job, and thank you for everyone who participated in helping this. You guys deserve a shout out too. We are in unprecedented times. We are in a pandemic. We are, however, in this together. And if you keep pushing, if you keep trying to be very passionate, you will achieve greatness. I stand by this statement all the time, thriving for greatness. Like you will, if you put your mind to it, you will achieve it. Everyone on this panel put their mind to something and look where they are. You got 2 people from Long Island. You got many people from all around the state. They put their minds to it and they still achieved it. And that's why I think the biggest thing is like, don't let anyone doubt you and don't let your doubts overcome your mindset. You go ahead. You will get it. Put 110% in it. You will achieve it.
Thank you, Jahad. And really thank all of you guys, for donating your time. These brilliant words of advice. It's fantastic. So I think that I gained a lot from it. I know that everybody watching will gain a lot from it. And just thank you guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.